Hola, students. Buenos dias. We miss you guys so much and we can't wait to see you soon. Today is Wednesday, November 19th. I'm here at school right now. It is 9 o'clock, and I wanted to show you guys what we've learned so far today, what we've been learning in math. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. I need you guys to follow along with me for our Haggerty lesson. Just read the normal things. She just needs to read a passage. Sorry about that. All right, get your tapping fingers out, third grade. Get your tapping fingers out. Repeat after me. B, R, A, V. So you should have done B, R, A, V. Brave. Good job. Next one. G, R, I, N. Grin. A, B. Crab. G, A, T. Great job. All right, get into your roller coaster. We're looking for the middle sound of words. Here we go. Repeat after me. Slate. A is the middle sound of slate. Next one. Clock. Ah is that middle sound. Next one. Light. I is that middle sound of flight. Next one. Sled. And is that middle sound of sled. Get your tapping fingers back out. Now I'm going to say a full word. You're going to repeat the full word, and then you are going to tap it out. Here we go. Graph. So what you should have said was graph. G, R, A. Next one. From. Red. Perfect. Oh, let's do one more. Frail. Perfect. All right. All right, give me two fists together, you guys. I need you, first we're going to say a word or a word part, and you're going to repeat it. You're going to add a sound at the beginning, and then you're going to say the new word. Here we go. Say rush. Add b, and the new word is rush. Good job. Say raid. Add g, grade. Good job. Say raise. Add p, praise. Good job. Say red. Add b, bread. Perfect. Say ream. Add cream. Good job. Now we're deleting. I'm going to say a full word. I'm going to take away the very first sound, and you're going to tell me what's left. Say braid. Take away b. Raid. Say crash. Take away k. Rash. Don't forget that R is still right there. Say prune. Take away p. Room. Say freeze. Take away f. Freeze. Good job. Now we're hitting the last one here. We're doing substitutions. Here we go. Say grow. Change g to k. Grow. Say slug. Change s to p. Plug. Say crown. Change k to B. Brown. Good job. Say gloat. Change G to F. Float. Don't forget that L. That stays. Say brace. Change B to G. Grace. Good job. All right, you guys. Now we are going to do some phonics. All right. So let me keep sharing with you. We are still talking about the long A vowel teams AI and AY. I'm just going to flip on over. While I'm flipping over and finding the page, I need you at home to get a piece of paper. You need to get just a blank sheet of paper, and you can get a marker or a crayon or a pencil, because we're going to be writing. We're going to be writing together. All right. All right, I'm going to use a whiteboard on my sheet of paper, but I need you to use a real sheet of paper at home. If you have a whiteboard at home, you could use that too. All right. So let's review what we've learned about long vowel sounds. We have been learning about long vowel teams. Vowel teams are two or more letters that work together to make one sound. We have learned about the long vowel team A and I making the A sound. AI making the A sound can come in the middle of words like bait and, I can't see that one, and mail. B, A, T, bait. And M, A, O, mail. It can also come at the beginning of words like aim, A, and aid. Aid. Now, there's another way to spell the long A vowel sound, and that is spelled A-Y. A. A only comes at the end of words, like may, a, and say, s, a. So these are the different long vowel sounds that we've learned. We have learned about magic E, making that A say its name, just an A, saying the long A sound, and now these vowel teams. I want you to remember, when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. All right, it's time to practice. We're gonna read some. So I would like for you to read these words right now to yourself, and then I'm gonna tell you what they are. So go ahead and read them while I listen. Feel free to tap them out if you need to. All right, here they are. Wait, paint, say, away. Now we're going to do our blending drill. The way we're going to do the blending drill though today, because you only have a piece of paper, is I want you just to write the words in a list. The first word we're going to write is gain. G-A-N, gain. What makes the G sound? What makes the G sound? G, the letter G. What have we been learning makes the long A sound in the middle of a word? AI. And what makes the sound in? This is what your board should, or what your piece of paper should look like up on the top. Now we're going to write the next word. I want you to write main. Main. Write main. Write main. All right, I'm going to show you in 3, 2, 1. Main. Good job. Now we're going to change main to male. Male. We're changing that n to an l sound. Male. I'm going to show you male in 3, 2, 1. Male. Now I want you to write pale. So we will be changing the to a p sound. Male is changing to pale. Pale. Might need a different headphone. Try different headphones, okay? I'm going to show you pale in 3, 2, 1. Pale. See how the letters are changing? So first we had gain, we changed g to main. Then we had main, and we changed to ol, and now we have male. Then we changed to p, and now we have pale. Okay, then make a writing choice then, okay? All right, you guys. Let's talk about some irregular words. I want you to keep this sheet of paper and I want you to write these irregular words with me. Okay, I'm going to erase my board because I'm running out of space. Mother. In Espanol, mother is madre. This is madre, pero in English we write mother. We write mother. Focus. Do your work. Mother. And this is irregular because the O, which should say it's saying other, mother. It's saying so it's irregular. Next, brother. In Espanol, brother es hermano. Hermano. Brother. Same thing. That O is not saying it's saying b, So we have to remember that is an irregular sound. Next up, father. That's how we say padre. Padre. Father. Same idea here. That A is making an sound. Oh wait, it's making the sound. Like an O, but it's spelled by an A. Father. So that's why it's irregular. And next we have water. In Espanol, we would say agua, but this is how we say it in English. Water. And that A is making that same sound. That same sound. Water. We're going to practice. I'm going to show you some sentences that I want you to read, okay? I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to read it on your own, and then I will read it to you, and you can read it along with me if you'd like, okay? Here we go. All right, now I'm going to read it to you. It says, their friend will stay here. Is that okay? Their friend will stay here. Is that okay? Next one. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to read this one on your own. This says, we will wait at the main gate. We will wait at the main gate. Next one. Read this one on your own first. Can you water the plants if it doesn't rain? Okay, so now I'm going to have a sentence that I need you to write on your piece of paper. On your piece of paper, I need you to write this sentence. Okay. My mother may paint her nails today. I'm going to say that again, but if you need to hear it, I want you to back up the video and watch me say it one more time. My mother may paint her nails today. So now I'm going to show you how we would write that, okay? So the way that we would write this would be my mother may paint her nails today. That is the way that we would write that. Please ask a friend for help, okay? Ask a friend who's not currently on a move. Ask Maya for help. Okay. So that's how we would write that. So I am going to grab our vocabulary words to read to you right now. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I'm back. Let's read our vocabulary words. I need you to repeat after me. Genuine. If something is genuine, it is real and exactly what it seems to be. For example, seeing her father return filled the girl with genuine happiness. Repeat after me. Saga. A saga is a long, detailed story about heroic events. For example, Greg hoped to get to the next chapter in the saga before bedtime. Next one. Coiled. Repeat after me. Coiled. If you coiled something, you shaped it into loops or rings. For example, Clara coiled the hose after she was finished watering the plants. Next one. Tame. Repeat after me. Tame. If you tame a wild animal, you teach it to do what you want. For example, the trainer's job is to tame the horses by teaching them to follow commands. Tame. And next is repeat after me, whirled. If something whirled, it spun around and turned very quickly. For example, the water whirled in a circle under the bridge. Just kind of sticking those on the wall. Today we're going to be reading a tall tale. A tall tale is an exaggerated story that is hard to believe. A tall tale may be based on a real event, but over time the hero gets stronger, taller, or more amazing. Tall tales are often funny because the readers never know what to expect. Tall tales are a type of American folk literature. They may have had their start when pioneers had storytelling contests around their campfires. Each storyteller tried to make the story more outrageous. Popular tall tale characters include Pecos Bill, Johnny Appleseed, Paul Bunyan, and John Henry. And in fact, Pecos, Texas is named after the tall tale character, Pecos Bill. So I'll let you know that we read Pecos Bill. It's a play. We have already read it, and these were the characters. These are people who read it. Um, and it was fun, but it took a long time, but it was fun. I'm going to read it to you right now in just a moment. So I'm going to flip us over to page 306 in just a second. Let me just set up. Give me one moment to figure this out. I'll tell you whenever we're done, okay? Okay. I'm going to grab our book and I'm going to read it. It's a play, so I'm going to be reading as the characters. This is what the story looks like. This is Pecos Bill. The Saga of Pecos Bill. It's a play. So look, at the beginning, it tells us the characters. And then instead of looking like a regular book, it has the character's name and then what they say. The character's name and then what they say. Normally, we wouldn't say the character's name. I'm going to say the character's name today as I'm reading it to you so that you know who is saying what. But normally, we don't have to say the name of the character. The character just says their line. I'm going to read it to you. Here's the picture for this first page. And here's the story. Narrator 1. Now, as you all know, Texas is a pretty big state. In fact, it's the biggest state of them all. And because it's such a big state, it has big heroes. And the biggest of all the heroes was Pecos Bill, the king of the cowboys. Narrator 2. You see, Pecos Bill wasn't originally from Texas. No, sir. He was from somewhere back east. From a family of 15 or 20 kids. Layla, Alani, focus. Sit down and focus. In fact, there were so many kids in the family, the parents just didn't remember all the names of the children. Narrator 3. Well, as I heard it, Bill wanted a teddy bear, just like any other kid. But because his family was so poor, they couldn't afford a teddy bear just for Bill. So he decided to go out and get his own. So one day he crawled out of his crib and into the woods. There he saw a genuine grizzly bear, which he wrapped up in his arms and took on home. Seems like Bill was going to be a little different from everybody else. Picked up a grizzly bear and brought it home. Narrator 4. Our saga begins when one day Bill's parents heard about some new land in the West. They heard that there was plenty of land for families with 15 or 20 children. Pa. Hey, Ma, I hear there's plenty of land in the West for families with lots of children. Ma. You mean families like ours with so many children that we just can't remember all their names? Pa. Yup. Ma. Well, why don't we just up and move out to that there west so we can build us a house big enough for all these children? Pa. Sounds like a great idea. Narrator 1. And so Pa and Ma packed up all their children and all their animals in the back of their wagon and headed out for the west. Narrator 2. However, as soon as the wagon went over the state line between Arkansas and Texas, it bounced Bill clean out of the wagon and alongside the road. Narrator 3. Since there were so many children and animals in the wagon, nobody noticed that Bill wasn't in the wagon until about a week later. By then it was too late to go look for him, but Bill's parents figured that any baby who could wrestle a grizzly bear was certainly tough enough to survive in the wilds of Texas. As it happens, Bill got along fine. After falling out of the wagon, he crawled into a cave of coyotes and fell asleep. The mama coyote took a liking to Bill and began to raise him as her own. Bill soon learned all the ways of coyote life. He learned how to bay at the moon, how to hunt for rabbits, and how to wrestle with all the other coyotes in the den. Pretty soon, Bill was just a regular coyote. Narrator 1. One day, Bill was lapping up some water from the Pecos River along with the other coyotes. That's when a cowboy spotted him. Cowboy 1. What in tarnation? You're just lapping up water like you was a regular coyote. Pecos Bill. Well, that's what I am, a coyote. Anyways, ain't you never seen a real coyote afore? Cowboy 1. Course I have. Well, you're not like any coyote I've ever seen. You look more like a human than you do a coyote. Pecos Bill said, I am a coyote. I have fleets just like a coyote, don't I? Cowboy 1. That don't mean nothing. The thing that all coyotes got is a tail. Narrator 2. With that, Bill turned around and looked back. It was then, for the first time in his life, that he realized he didn't have a tail. Pecos Bill. I don't have a tail like my brothers and sisters, but if I'm not a coyote, then what am I? Cowboy 1. You're a human being. Narrator 3. Pecos Bill began to growl just like his coyote mother had taught him. But he knew deep down in his heart that he wasn't a real coyote. So he figured he might as well go along with the cowboy and begin acting like a real human acts. Girls, all right, Magnolia and Alani, please stop what you're doing and work on your writing. Okay? Work on your writing. Thank you. Narrator 3. Pecos Bill began to growl just like his coyote mother had taught him. But he knew deep down in his heart that he wasn't a real coyote. So he figured he might as well go along with the cowboy and begin acting like a real human acts. Narrator 4. Bill started walking alongside the cowboy. Suddenly a huge mountain lion jumped down from a cliff and right onto Bill's back. Without a thought, Bill just up and wrestled that mountain lion to the ground. Mountain lion. I give up! I give up! Pecos Bill. Your hunting days are over. Seeing as how I need to be more like a human, I'll use you as a horse. Mountain lion. A horse? Pecos Bill. Yep, a horse. So let's be on our way. Narrator 1. Bill jumped on the back of the mountain lion and he and the cowboy continued on their way. There's that picture. All right. Narrator 2. They hadn't gone but 10 miles when a 10-foot rattlesnake swung out of the cactus plant and down on top of them. Narrator 3. Bill jumped off the mountain lion's back and grabbed the end of that snake. He swung that snake around and around his head. As the snake was spinning round and round, it grew thinner and thinner. It also got longer and longer. By the time Bill was done, that 10-foot rattlesnake was 30 feet long. Narrator 4. Bill coiled up that 30-foot snake just like it was a rope and slung it over his shoulder. From then on, cowboys always carried a rope with them, just like Pecos Bill carried a 30-foot snake with him wherever he went. Narrator 1. After that, Bill and the cowboy rode on until they got to a ranch alongside the Pecos River. The other cowboys didn't know what to make of Bill, riding his mountain lion and carrying a snake wrapped across his shoulders. But I guess they could see he was a good man, and so they figured he'd be a good cowboy too. Pecos Bill. Howdy, folks. I'm new in these here parts. I just want to learn how to be a cowboy and help you fellas out. 1 second, friends. Cowboy number 2. Well, friend, you're welcome to stay as long as you want. We're always looking for new help, seeing as we had the whole state of Texas to take care of and lots of cattle to keep an eye on. Pecos Bill. I appreciate that. By the way, what would you like to have me do now? Cowboy 2. Well, I don't think it's anything you can help us with. See, we're just in the biggest drought that Texas ever had. We ain't had no water for months and months now. Pecos Bill. Well, I reckon I can help with that. Narrator 2. And with that, Bill just swung his rattlesnake lasso round and round, and he roped up all the water from the Rio Grande River. After that, there was no more problem with any drought. Narrator 3. Seems like there's nothing that Bill couldn't do. Like that time when the biggest and meanest tornado that ever was came to Texas. Bill decided that the only way to tame the tornado was to ride it until it spun itself out. So Bill waited until that tornado came up over the state line with Oklahoma. It slowed down a little as it crossed into Texas, and that's when Bill just up and jumps on that tornado's back. Narrator 1. Now, that tornado didn't like anybody riding its back. It turned itself from green to brown to black and began leaping around like it was full of about 100 wildcats. That tornado whipped and whirled some more, just trying to throw Bill off his back. Pecos Bill, "Yow-wee, hold on tight. I aim to tame you, seeing as how I'm the toughest cowboy in these here parts. You ain't about to throw me. No, sirree." Narrator 2. Well, that tornado started to do all kinds of mean things as it spun faster and faster. It humped its back, it threw itself all about, it jumped up and it jumped down, trying to toss Bill back to the ground. It just got meaner and meaner every way it twisted and turned. Narrator 3. In fact, it got to be so mean and ornery that it tied up rivers into knots and empties lakes of all their water. Why, Bill and the Twister went from one end of Texas to the other. The Twister was twisting, and Bill was hanging on for dear life. But try as it might, that Twister could never throw Bill, no way. Bill just rode that tornado like it was the meanest bull at a rodeo. He jabbed it with his spurs and wrapped his arms tighter and tighter around that spinning tornado. Narrator 4. Finally, that tornado figured it wasn't going to get Bill off its back. So it headed itself out to California and just rained itself out. Seems it rained so much water that it washed out the Grand Canyon. Why, that mean old tornado was worn down to nothing. By the time they both reached the Pacific Ocean, that tornado was nothing but a little bitty puff of wind. We're almost done. Narrator 1. When Bill fell off, he hit the ground so hard the ground sank just right below sea level. Folks in those parts now call that part of California Death Valley. Pecos Bill. There, that should teach those tornadoes a thing or two. Narrator 2. When Bill got back to Texas, he started to clean up the mess that he and that tornado made. Narrator 3. When he first climbed on the back of the tornado, Texas had been covered by forests of trees. But now all the land had been swept clean of every single tree from the full force of that wrestling match between Bill and the tornado. Narrator 4. And if you go and visit Texas today, you will see lots of wide open spaces all over the state. Wide open spaces thanks to that wrestling match between the greatest cowboy who ever lived and one mean and wild tornado. Yep, Pecos Bill was the best cowboy there ever was. The meanest, the strongest, and the best there ever was. The end. Okay, so something I'm going to have you do right now is I want you to get a sheet of paper out again, and I want you to pause the video, and I want you to write each of these words with long A vowel teams. I'm going to write them 2 times, and you can use whatever colored markers you want or just a pencil. And that is going to be all of our ELA for today. I'm going to make another video about what we do for math. Good work today, and I hope to see you soon.